Welcome to the sleepy Einstein, where curiosity never sleeps, and every story takes you deeper into the wonders of the world. If you enjoy exploring hidden truths and mind-bending stories with us, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a journey into the unknown. Fasten your seatbelts because the weather is about to get rough. Today we're going on a tour of the sun. Yes, the same sun you see rising every morning and setting in the evening. But have you ever been curious to know more about it by just looking at it? For example, is it really yellow? What is the temperature of its surface? And will any human ever be able to reach it in the future? These are many questions that must have come to our minds. So, in today's video, let's find the answers to all these questions and also learn about this nearest star in our solar system. Friends, the main reason life is thriving on Earth today is our beloved sun. Its heat and light are what keep us alive today. This means that if someone were to make the sun disappear from the sky, within moments this Earth would turn from a green planet into a dead planet, where there will be no trees, no animals, and no humans. But how is the sun, which continuously drives the life cycle on Earth, born? And how did it first appear in this universe? Let's first try to find out a little about this. To learn about the birth of the sun, we all have to go back 4.6 billion years in time, when there was no trace of our solar system in this entire universe. At that time, neither our sun nor our beloved Earth nor the lovely people living on this Earth existed. But then something happened in this gigantic universe that gave birth to our sun and the entire solar system. In fact, at this time, there used to be a large molecular cloud full of gas in space, and there was very little space inside this cloud, which was slowly contracting due to its own gravity. And in this process, it became a protostar, which started producing a lot of energy inside it. As it contracted more, it became hotter and hotter, and then it started spinning. Now, due to the process of its spinning and contracting, the temperature of this protostar started increasing even more. It became hotter and hotter and hotter, and then one day its temperature reached close to 15 million degrees Celsius. As a result, a special kind of reaction suddenly started in it, which is currently called nuclear fusion. So, as these reactions happened frequently inside this sphere, its center became very bright, and the nuclei of hydrogen present in it started diffusing among themselves and forming helium gas, due to which immense energy started being emitted from inside it, and finally it became a star, which you and I know today as Surya or the sun. Today, this is the reason why the sun is called a big sphere of burning gas. It releases so much heat and light that our entire solar system is illuminated. Today, you won't believe it, but even after so many billions of years, the sun's temperature is still 15 million degrees Celsius, due to which it is impossible for us humans to even get close to it, let alone go to its surface. Although it may be smaller in size than many other big stars, it covers 99% of the mass of our entire solar system. This means that out of the total weight of our solar system, the sun alone contributes 99%. And planets, satellites, asteroids, and meteoroids make up only 1%. It is 1.4 million kilometers in diameter, which is approximately 109 times larger than our Earth dot now. Let me tell you an interesting fact about the sun. See, since childhood we have all been reading and seeing that the sun is red and yellow. But is its color really red or yellow? The answer is absolutely not. Don't be surprised. This is 100% true. The sun is not actually yellow, red, or orange, but is actually completely white. But how? Let's understand this in a little more detail. The fact is that when we look at the sun from Earth, it appears yellow or orange during sunrise or sunset. This is because in the Earth's atmosphere, the wavelength of blue and green light is shorter compared to the wavelength of red and yellow light. And that is why these rays scatter in the Earth's atmosphere. And the sun appears red, yellow, and orange to us. So, from today, if someone asks you, tell me what color the sun is, remember that your answer should be white and not red, yellow, or orange. Friends, in the end, we can all say that the sun is a huge reservoir of energy that can give life to someone with its powers and can also be the cause of someone's destruction. However, in the case of our Earth, ever since life developed on it, the sun has been pulling the Earth with its light. It is because of it that humanity is flourishing and developing on Earth today. Let's move on. Now we are going to Mercury, the closest, smallest, cutest, and most beloved planet in the solar system, where we will try to unveil its secrets today. So, without any delay, let's start the journey. But yes, to start this, you will have to press the red subscribe button visible below. Oh wow, you pressed it. So what are we waiting for? Let's go on this adventurous journey. Friends, this smallest planet of our solar system is just a little bigger than our Earth's moon. And if you stand on its surface and look towards the sun, it will appear 3 times bigger than the sun seen from Earth. This means that if the sun looks like a football on Earth, from Mercury, it will look as big as a bicycle wheel. This is also because Mercury is almost 58 million kilometers away from the sun. By the way, you all know that it takes about 8 minutes for the sun's light to reach Earth, but do you know how long it takes for sunlight to reach Mercury? In fact, due to being closest to the sun's light reaches Mercury in just 2 to 3 minutes. From this, you can guess that Mercury is quite close to the sun, but not so much that the sun's light reaches there in a few seconds. Now, let's learn about more mysteries related to this planet. Formation and discovery of Mercury was formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago, when gas and dust orbiting the sun accumulated in one place due to gravity. Also, just like our planet, Mercury is a terrestrial planet, where there is a crust, mantle, and core just like Earth. And yes, its core covers more than 80% of its entire inner surface area. As for its discovery, it was discovered by ancient civilizations. We are saying this because the mention of this planet is found in ancient civilizations like Mesopotamia, China, and India, where people knew it as a wandering star. And if we talk about modern history, it was seen for the first time with a telescope in the 17th century. And among the astronomers who saw it, Galileo's name comes first. It was from his observations that it was found that just as the moon orbits the Earth in the same way, Mercury also orbits the sun. What are the surface and atmosphere of Mercury like? Friends, looking at the surface of Mercury, you will be reminded of the moon for a moment. You will feel as if you are looking at the surface of the moon because, like the moon's surface, its surface also has many craters, plains, and cliffs. The reason behind this is the bombardment of meteoroids that happens here. That is, small and large meteoroids always fall here and make small and large craters on its surface. As for its atmosphere, despite being so close to the sun, it retains a thin layer of atmosphere on it. This means that the atmosphere is present on it. But due to being thin, it is limited to just the exosphere. And if we talk about the composition of its atmosphere, it is made up of helium, hydrogen, oxygen, potassium, and many other elements. Possibility of life on Mercury. Well, this question is quite childish. But still, is there even a slight hope of the possibility of life on Mercury? Let's find out. For life to be possible on any planet, a thick atmosphere must be present on it first. After this, it is very important to have oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide gases in this atmosphere, which Mercury does not have. And not only that, if we talk about the temperature of Mercury during the day, it is around 430 degrees Celsius. And at night, it drops from 430 degrees Celsius to below minus 240 degrees Celsius. That is, if any human lives on this planet, he is sure to be turned into biryani in the morning. At the same time, at night, he will turn into kulfi. And that is why it is foolish to even imagine life there. Friends, what we have been able to know about this vast universe is probably zero, and that is why there are many secrets about Mercury that we humans have not been able to find out till today. For example, first, tectonic activities have been recorded on Mars several times, whereas tectonic plates are not present inside Mercury. So how is this possible? Second, is Mercury really made of dust and gas? Third, how does it have an atmosphere, despite being so close to the sun? Fourth, how did its magnetic field originate? Apart from this, there are many other questions whose answers scientists are still looking for today. Maybe in the coming time, they will find the answers to these questions. But until then, we all have to wait for it. By the way, can you use your full thinking ability to answer these questions? Tell us by writing in the comments. Let's move on after the moon and the dark night sky. If the brightest thing is visible, it is Venus. This is also because it is not only the brightest planet, but also the hottest planet in our solar system. But wait a minute, Venus is the second planet in the solar system, and Mercury comes before it. So how can Venus be the hottest planet? Does the sun's heat reach Venus more than Mercury? Or is Venus hotter because it is larger in size than Mercury? Or is the reason something else? In this video, we will try to find the answers to all these questions. Along with this, we will also learn about some other unsolved mysteries related to Venus. Friends, as you all know, Venus is our neighbor, as well as the second planet in the solar system, which humans have not been able to reach till date. But yes, their interest in exploring this planet has been very high from the beginning. The environment here, the temperature here, the creatures here, everything remains a mystery for us Earthlings. Today, by the way, you heard it right. Life also exists on Venus, but yes, this life is not suitable for humans. But some microorganisms live on this planet. Now, let's find out about all the mysteries of Venus one by one. The atmosphere of Venus, friends. You all must definitely know that Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, but very few people know the exact reason behind it. But before we tell you the main reason for this, first, let's know about the temperature of Venus. In fact, the temperature of Venus is around 475 degrees Celsius during the day. And at night also, there's no significant drop in its temperature. The temperature at night also becomes around 460 degrees Celsius. But why does Venus not lose its temperature as the evening comes like Earth? See, the thing is that the temperature of Venus has a very high amount of carbon dioxide, which gives it rise to the greenhouse effect here, and that is why Venus is not able to keep itself cool during both day and night. By the way, you will be surprised to know. But some researchers also believe that the temperature of Venus was once exactly like our Earth, and there were also large oceans like Earth here. But due to some catastrophic events, it has reached this situation today. Life on Venus. Now the question arises whether any living being would exist on this planet due to such harsh weather conditions. The answer is yes, living beings live on Venus. A recent discovery has revealed that although it is impossible for a human civilization to exist on Venus, some microorganisms definitely exist on this planet. What happened was that a team of scientists detected traces of phosphine gas in the clouds of Venus, which is leading to speculation about the presence of aerial life. Music. This means that although life does not exist on the surface of Venus, a microbial life exists in the air above its surface. And that is why NASA has also started preparing for its Veritas and Da Vinci Plus missions on Venus, so that they can do an in-depth study of the life on Venus. Volcanoes on Venus, friends. Just as there are many volcanoes on our Earth, in the same way, there are also many active volcanoes on the surface of Venus that erupt from time to time. By the way, you probably do not know this, but some volcanoes are also present on this planet, which are counted among the largest volcanoes in the solar system. According to a recent research, there are still many active volcanoes on Venus. The process of eruption is still going on in some of them, and scientists also believe that due to these volcanic eruptions happening on Venus, the atmosphere of Venus is changing very rapidly. But will this change make Venus a habitable planet, or will it turn it into an even harsher planet? Even NASA does not know this yet, that will we ever be able to live on Venus? This question must have been coming to your mind since the beginning of the video. Let's find the answer to this. See, after learning some surprising things about Venus, NASA has started working on its master missions like Veritas and Da Vinci Plus. NASA's mission will collect rock samples from Venus, study its atmosphere, and determine if life is possible there. In addition, many private companies, like SpaceX, are also trying to establish human civilization on Venus, but for now, this is not possible. In the end, it can be said that Venus was once a colorful planet just like Earth, but due to bad weather and natural disasters, it slowly turned into a ball of fire. And today, the weather here has become so bad that instead of being a green planet, it has become the hottest planet in our solar system. So, did life ever exist on this planet or not? What do you think? Let us know by writing in the comments section. Let's move on. The Earth you are sitting on today, enjoying this video, if I were to tell you that about 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was also a ball of fire, just like the sun, would you believe it? The temperature here was so high that alone humans, no living creature could survive here. Or should I say that the country you are living in today was completely covered in ice millions of years ago? So friends, when our Earth was born, it was a ball of fire. A ball where meteorites rained every other minute. A ball where volcanic eruptions kept happening for millions of years. And a ball that had oceans of hot lava and where the land was completely covered with ice for millions of years. This story begins about 6 to 7 billion years ago when our solar system had not even originated. At that time, there were many clouds full of gas and dust particles here, and far away from these clouds, a star existed whose energy was slowly decreasing. And then one day, this explosion was so huge that because of it, the dust present in space came closer and started compressing. And so much pressure was put on them that they slowly started taking the form of big meteorites and rocks. At the same time, gravity originated inside them, and in no time, hydrogen and helium gas started gathering in its center. And once again, this explosion laid the foundation of our solar system, and our sun was born. After that, the meteorites that were left in space started orbiting the sun due to its gravity, and they also started having fierce collisions with each other. After which, planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars became a part of our solar system. But this was just the beginning. Something big was still about to happen in our solar system. After the formation of Earth, one day, the planet Bea, which existed between Earth and Mars, had a huge collision with Earth. This collision was so dangerous that a large part of the Earth spread around the Earth in the form of particles and started orbiting the Earth in the shape of rings. And during this orbit, once again, these particles started colliding and they came closer. As a result, the Earth's only moon originated. When the Earth was formed, it was a ball of fire. There were no oceans like today, nor were there mountains surrounded by ice like today. There was only one ocean here, an ocean of boiling lava whose temperature was around 2,000 degrees Celsius. But the good thing was that slowly but surely, the Earth's surface was cooling down, and slowly the heavy elements present on the Earth started transferring towards the center of the Earth, and the light elements started shifting towards the surface of the Earth. But even now, the rain of meteorites on Earth had not stopped. They continued to pierce the Earth's surface from time to time. But there was also a positive thing in this. These meteorites contained salt, water, and minerals, and therefore, due to this rain, the Earth's surface started sinking underwater, and this made the Earth's surface cool down. And this was the time when microorganisms started taking birth inside the water on Earth. But there were still a lot of radioactive substances present in the center of the Earth, which had become cold. That's why a lot of heat was still being generated inside it. And after the upper surface of the Earth had cooled down, the pressure on them started increasing even more. After this, they started looking for a way to get out of the Earth. And finally, they started coming out of the Earth in the form of volcanic eruptions. During this, many volcanoes were born on Earth. Now, since these volcanoes kept spewing fire, for many lakhs of years, the land started forming around them. But the thing to note was that the atmosphere had not yet been formed on Earth. A stable atmosphere on Earth originated about 3 billion years ago, when a full day here was only 12 hours long, and during this time, marine life also developed a lot. Now they started using the minerals present in the water for their nutrition and kept releasing oxygen as waste. And this is the reason why the amount of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere was increasing. And because of this, the Earth's atmosphere was also improving slowly, but about 1 billion years ago, the Earth's tectonic plates suddenly started cracking, due to which the lava present in the Earth's core kept boiling in the open for millions of years. And this lava started increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. Because of this, acid rain started for the first time on Earth. Now, because it kept raining on Earth for many years continuously, and it was completely covered by clouds, sunlight could not reach the Earth for a very long time. And because of this, the Earth gradually became cold. Due to this, a huge drop in the Earth's temperature was seen. This drop was so huge that the entire Earth turned into a ball of ice. That is, the Ice Age began on Earth. But as we told you earlier, whenever the Earth becomes cold, the pressure on the hot lava inside it increases. That's why this time also, as soon as the Earth became cold, the pressure on the boiling lava inside it started increasing. And once again, it started coming out of the Earth in the form of volcanic eruptions, due to which the ice present on Earth started melting. Meanwhile, some creatures left inside the sea also started learning to adapt themselves according to the Earth's environment. At the same time, due to the continuous volcanic eruptions happening on Earth, the amount of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere once again started increasing, and as a result, acid rain started on Earth once again. This rain once again stopped the sunlight from coming to the Earth, due to which the Earth once again became completely cold, and it once again turned into a ball of ice. After which, volcanic eruptions once again started happening on Earth, and the ice present on Earth once again started melting. That is, this process continued for millions of years. The Ice Age came many times on Earth and then ended with volcanic eruptions. Now, when these changes were happening on Earth, along with this, the aquatic life present on Earth was also bringing a lot of changes in themselves. They were learning to adapt themselves according to the changing environment of the Earth and were trying to save their lives somehow. Now, when the volcanoes on Earth started erupting once again and the ice inside it started melting, the marine plants present on Earth started developing very rapidly, and they started releasing a large amount of oxygen into the Earth's atmosphere, due to which the Earth's atmosphere started cooling down, and at the same time, the frequent acid rain happening on this Earth also came down a lot, due to which the ozone layer present in the Earth's atmosphere started getting thicker. And about 470 million years ago, a plant named moss was born for the first time on the upper surface of the Earth. Since the birth of this plant, different types of plants started growing on Earth. They slowly started covering the entire surface of the Earth. And you will be surprised to know, but during this time, some plants have become so big that today's 3-story building would also look small in front of them. Friends, this was the time when the creatures living in the sea started coming out of the sea and started transforming into land animals. And along with this, all the land masses of the Earth came together. The landmass that we all know today as the Pangaea continent, friends, dinosaurs developed for the first time on this Pangaea continent. Music. These were the first species that used to eat plants, and because of this, they used to be very tall. At the same time, some dinosaurs were also carnivores, and that's why their height was shorter than that of a herbivore dinosaur. About 200 million years ago, the Pangaea continent started breaking for the first time, and most of the upper land of the Earth came in contact with water. And because of this, plants grew in large quantities on Earth. And therefore, as a result, many different types of dinosaurs started developing on Earth, and in this way, they ruled the Earth for the next 20 to 300 million years. But after this, something happened that changed the entire direction of the Earth. About 65 million years ago, a meteorite as big as the size of Mount Everest started moving towards Earth at a speed of 80,000 kilometers per hour. And as soon as it entered the Earth's atmosphere, it converted into a ball of fire and directly hit the Earth's surface. According to scientists, The energy released from this explosion was equal to the energy released from the explosion of 100 million atomic bombs today. Due to the fall of this meteorite, doomsday-like conditions were created on Earth. The entire Earth was hit by a dust storm. Storm started in the sea, and all the animals and plants that came in its grip were burned to ashes. Their trace was erased. We can say that within a few hours of this explosion, the Earth had turned into a hell, where nothing but destruction was visible everywhere. The entire atmosphere of the Earth was filled with harmful gases. It had become so poisonous that no living creature could survive in it even for a moment. This entire disaster ended the 200-million-year rule of the dinosaurs. Not a single dinosaur could survive to save the existence of their species on Earth. Only the creatures living underground could keep themselves alive in this tragedy. After this doomsday, once again, a lot of changes were seen in the Earth's atmosphere. Due to the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide, acid rain started on Earth once again. And due to the sun not coming to the Earth for many thousands of years, the Earth was once again covered with a sheet of ice. But after 80 to 90,000 years, the ice started melting. Once again, the atmosphere on Earth became like before, and that's why these creatures living underground started coming out of the ground in the meantime. They transformed into monkeys. After this, they kept evolving continuously. They started walking on 2 legs instead of 4. They started migrating from one place to another in search of food, and in no time, they transformed into primitive humans. After which, they discovered fire. They started learning to live in a society. They made their own language. They established religion, and today, after 4.5 billion years, they are ruling the Earth as the most developed species on this Earth. So this was today's video. We hope that you have enjoyed this journey of 4.5 billion years. Let's move on. Now the day is not far when we all will build our colony on Mars. Elon Musk is showing this dream to the whole world today. He had announced a few years ago that by the year 2026, he would take humans to Mars, and the booking for tickets for this is also open. Why haven't you got it done yet? By the way, a very funny question is arising in my mind about Mars. When we live here on Earth, we call the land here Darty Earth. So when we all go to live on Mars, what do we call the land there? Darty or Mangle Mars? Let us know by writing in the comments below. Now let's come back to the point. So after hearing Elon Musk's plan, many questions must be arising in all of your minds. For example, Mars is not even a habitable planet. Then how will we survive on it? Will there also be a morning and a night like here? Will we be able to do farming there too? Is oxygen available on Mars for breathing? Mars is the 4th planet in the solar system, as well as our neighbor. If we talk about its name, it was named after Mars, the Roman god of war. Due to the high amount of iron oxide present on its surface, its entire surface is red. This is the reason why it is also known as the red planet. On the other hand, if we talk about its size, it is about half the size of our Earth. But despite this, the day here is exactly 24 hours long, just like on our Earth. But this time is 40 minutes more than Earth's. By the way, one of Mars' most beautiful features is its Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano in the entire solar system. You can guess its height from the fact that even if we stood 3 Mount Everests in front of it, it would still be a little taller than them. Atmospheric conditions of Mars friends. The atmosphere of Mars is quite thin compared to our Earth's. This means that a thick layer of atmosphere, like our Earth's, is not present here, due to which the problem of solar radiation and temperature variation is always present on the surface of Mars. Moreover, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere here is 95%, and the amount of oxygen is 0.13%, which makes it an extremely hot planet, and that is why it would not be wrong to say that it is not possible for humans to survive on it. But now, after hearing this, you must be remembering Elon Musk's words. So, see, even though Elon Musk is talking about building a colony on Mars, this colony will not be open. But it will either be underground or it will be completely packed from the outside with transparent glasses. Only then can the people here be saved from the dangerous radiation of the sun. The search for life, according to scientists, if we can all live on a planet near Earth or make it habitable, it is Mars. This is because it is also quite close to Earth. And in a recent research, water has also been discovered on its surface. In recent years, many countries have launched their missions on it. One of them is India. It had sent its satellite to Mars orbit in its very first attempt, which is now providing many important information related to Mars to India. And in the near future, it is possible that we may find an easy way to live on Mars. Missions of the future world-renowned. Scientist Stephen Hawking had said that one day. Or the other, we all will have to leave this Earth. And that is why we should start looking for such a planet. From now on, where we can go in times of trouble. And perhaps this is the reason why scientists today are so serious about the Mars mission. And some ambitious people like Elon Musk have even made a plan to settle on Mars. However, there's no doubt that it is not that easy to go to Mars and develop human civilization on it, because Mars does not have an atmosphere like our Earth, and neither does it have soil like our Earth. It has neither an atmosphere like our Earth nor air and water like Earth. And that is why it would not be wrong to say that the development of human civilization on Mars is impossible right now. But who knows? In the future, our scientists may develop some technology that makes this possible. In the end, we can all say that our neighbor Mars is still holding many secrets within it, which we will all be able to find out only when the first human sets foot on its surface. Recently, America has talked about sending its astronauts to the surface of Mars by the year 2037, but only time will tell how successful this is in our gigantic solar system. There is a world that challenges our imaginations and our understanding. It is a place where strong winds wreak havoc every day and every moment. Music. We are talking about the planet Jupiter, which we all consider to be the largest planet in the solar system. But do you know that despite being the largest planet in the solar system, this planet takes only 10 hours to complete one rotation on its axis? This means that if we all were living on Jupiter instead of Earth by mistake, then there would be day every 5 hours and night every 5 hours. It sounds so much fun, doesn't it? But this is just a small truth of Jupiter. Imagine how much fun would be if you get to know about all its secrets and features. And that is why in today's video, I am going to tell you about all the mysteries related to Jupiter. Now you all know that Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, but do you also know how big it is? Like, is it 10 times bigger than our Earth? 20 times bigger or 50 times bigger or something like that? Let me tell you myself. In fact, Jupiter's diameter is 139,820 kilometers, and it is so big that 1,300 planets like our Earth can fit in it. Yes, absolutely. It is 1,300 times bigger than our Earth. Just try to imagine. Our Earth will look like a small child in front of it. By the way, if we talk about its appearance, it looks very beautiful. The round clouds of orange, white, brown, and red colors make them very different from other planets. Looking at it, it seems as if someone has left a giant top to dance in space. But what is this? What is this big red spot on it? Let's investigate it a little. The great red spot, then panic. This big red spot that you are seeing on Jupiter is actually known as the Great Red Spot. This is one of the most unique features of Jupiter. You will not believe it, but this red spot that you are seeing is a tornado that has been rising on Jupiter for hundreds of years. Yes, on our Earth, a tornado rises in a day or two and then subsides. But this tornado on Jupiter has been rising for hundreds of years. And you will be very surprised to know that this storm that has been rising on Jupiter for hundreds of years has a larger area than Earth. That is, a tornado of the size of our Earth is rising there, and it looks like just a small red spot. It feels so fascinating to think about. By the way, scientists believe that this tornado rises continuously on Jupiter due to a high gravitational force and does not take the name of subsiding. Moons, according to NASA. The total number of moons of Jupiter is 80 to 95. But they also say that besides these, thousands of small objects also orbit in Jupiter's orbit. And that is why it would not be wrong to say that the number of moons of Jupiter can be much more than this. By the way, just imagine how much fun it would be if our Earth also had 80 to 90 moons. We would get to see the light of so many moons even in the darkness of the night. Well, that's not going to happen. Now let's tell you about the most special and most famous moon of Jupiter. In fact, the name of this moon is Europa, which is completely covered with ice, and that is why scientists also believe that it may be possible for us humans to live on it in the future. By the way, besides this moon, there is another moon that adds to the glory of Jupiter. We are talking about Ganymede, the largest moon of Jupiter and the entire solar system. In fact, it is the largest moon in our solar system, which also has its own magnetic field, Jupiter's secret friends. Even after so many years of research, Jupiter is still hiding many secrets within it, and that is why Earthlings are also launching some missions to study it more deeply, such as Europa Clipper and Juice. Oh, don't be surprised. I am not talking about the juice we drink. This is Juice, which means Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. The main objective of this mission is to provide information about the gases present in Jupiter's atmosphere and its moon Europa's atmosphere, and to search for life on its moon Europa. By the way, do you think we will ever really be able to live on Europa? Let us know by writing in the comments below, friends, in the end. It would not be wrong to say that if Saturn is called the queen of planets, then our Jupiter is the king of planets. That is also because its huge size, great red spot moons, and beautiful colors always become the center of attraction for people. Saturn, which we all also know as the queen of planets. This is a planet in our solar system that has always been the first choice of scientists and explorers because of its beautiful rings. Its spectacular rings and many moons have earned it the title of Jewel of the Solar System. But the question here is, why does only Saturn have these rings among so many planets in our solar system? Where did it get these rings from after all? And are these rings really like a ring, or is it just an illusion? Friends, Saturn is the 6th planet in our solar system, which is considered the 2nd largest planet in the solar system after Jupiter. Its diameter is 116,464 kilometers, and its entire atmosphere is made up of 75% hydrogen and 25% helium gas. And that is why it does not have a solid surface like our Earth. It is just a big ball of gas. Discovery of Saturn in English. The planet Saturn was named after the Raman god of agricultural and wealth, while in Hindi, its name Shani Grah was named after the Hindu deity Shani Dev. According to history, this planet was discovered by ancient civilizations like Babylonian, Greek, Egyptians, and the Indian subcontinent. But officially it was discovered by the Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei in the 17th century with his newly invented telescope. And not only this, he also found out about the rings around Saturn with this telescope. Atmosphere of Saturn, friends. The atmosphere of Saturn is made up of only 2 gases, hydrogen and helium. This is also the reason why it is also called a gas giant. Now, since this planet has much more hydrogen and helium than Earth, that is why the atmosphere of this planet is also denser than our Earth's. And this is the reason why big storms often come on this planet. By the way, if you're thinking that maybe we can live on this planet someday in the future, then, my friend, this is never going to happen. For a moment, we can live on Mars, Venus, and Saturn's moon Titan, but it's not possible for human beings to settle on Saturn at all. Because there's no solid surface like Earth here, scientists believe that only Saturn's core can be made of rock. The rest of Saturn above it is just a big ball of gas. Beautiful rings of Saturn. Now there's no doubt that Saturn is one of the most unique planets in our entire solar system. This is because it has rings that are spread up to approximately 282,000 kilometers. But did any question arise in your mind about this ring? Like, what are these rings made of? And how are they made? Let's find the answer to this. In fact, these rings that you see, when you zoom in on them, you will find out that these rings are nothing but small to large-sized rocks that continuously orbit Saturn. Now, since their quantity is so much that from a distance it seems as if rings are attached around it. That is, the beautiful rings of Saturn are nothing but small rocks that keep orbiting in Saturn's orbit. Now, the second question is, where did they come from? Friends, a lot of research is still going on about this. However, according to one theory, these pieces are of Saturn's moons, or some comet due to passing very close to Saturn might have been converted into pieces due to Saturn's gravitational force. But, as I said, this is just a theory. The real truth behind it is yet to come out. Moons of Saturn. Now our Earth has a single moon. But in terms of moons, Saturn is at the forefront in the entire solar system. According to current data, Saturn currently has approximately 80 small and large moons, among which the largest moon is Titan, which is itself larger in size than the planets Mercury and Pluto. By the way, you will be surprised to know that Titan also has its own atmosphere and also has rivers and ponds, which indicates that perhaps Titan is going to be a better option for us humans in the future. That is, it is possible that in the future, human beings may go and settle there. In the end, we can all say that Saturn is indeed a very wonderful planet about which we still have a lot to know. By the way, with time, as technology is developing, many secrets of Saturn have started to be revealed. And we also hope that in the coming time, as the Saturn missions increase, the mystery of its surface and its rings information will also be solved. After traveling to Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, we have now reached the coldest planet in our solar system. A planet that has rings just like Saturn. A planet that rotates on its axis, not horizontally, like other planets, but vertically, and its magnetic pole is also located towards the Sun, a planet that takes 84 years to complete just one revolution of the Sun. This means that if a person is 84 years old on Earth, he will be only 1 year old on this planet. Friends, we are talking about the planet Uranus, which is considered one of the most beautiful planets in our solar system due to its beautiful blue color. Friends, its name Uranus was named after the Greek god of sky, and it is the 7th planet in our solar system. Along with this, it is also considered the 3rd biggest planet in our solar system. It was discovered about 240 years ago by the British astronomer William Herschel on March 13th, 1781, when he was investigating the stars in the solar system with his telescope. In fact, in ancient times, Uranus was seen as a star because it orbited the sun very slowly and also appeared very blurry. But when William Herschel studied it for a year, he came to know that the star orbits the sun in an orbit like a planet. After which he told the world that this is not a star, but a planet that orbits the sun, just like other planets. The blue beauty, if you look at this picture of Uranus, this planet will look like a beautiful blue-green colored ball. But have you ever wondered why it looks this color? Let's find out. In fact, the reason behind its beautiful color is its atmosphere. The atmosphere here contains only a mixture of hydrogen, helium, and methane gas, in which methane gas absorbs the red and infrared light from the light coming to the planet. And because of this, Uranus appears blue-green to us. Along with this planet is also called an ice giant, because it is mostly made of a mixture of water, methane, and ammonia, and its entire surface is only ice. The mysterious atmosphere, friends. The atmosphere of Uranus always has remained a topic of discussion for scientists. Now, since they have very little information about the atmosphere present on this planet, they cannot make any accurate claims about its atmosphere. However, based on some studies conducted in the past, they say that hydrogen, helium, hydrocarbons, and methane are present in the atmosphere of Uranus. And the temperature on this planet is always very cold and remains below minus 23.3 degrees Celsius. And this is the reason why it is considered the coldest planet in our solar system, along with being an ice giant. The unusual poles and magnetic field, friends. Compared to other planets, the poles and magnetic field of Uranus are quite strange. Usually, the magnetic field, i.e., the magnetic region of any planet, is aligned with its axis of rotation. But in the case of Uranus, it is the exact opposite. Its magnetic pole is aligned with its equator. For example, if we talk about Earth, its magnetic pole works in the north to south and south to north directions, whereas the magnetic pole of Uranus works from east to west and west to east. Isn't that a strange thing? Another planet with the rings now, you all know about Saturn's rings, but it is not the only planet that has rings. Now you must be thinking that if Uranus also has rings, then why are they not visible? So the thing is that these rings are not as thick as Saturn's rings, but they are quite thin and fine, and that's why we don't get to see them in any pictures, because due to being so thin, they are not represented anywhere. But in reality, rings are present around Uranus and are made of small dust particles, and their number is not 1 or 2, but 13. Friends, along with this, just like Saturn, Uranus also has a large number of moons. According to current data, Uranus has a total of 27 moons right now. Friends, on the journey to find the secrets of the planets, we have reached Neptune, the last planet in the solar system, which is 4.5 billion kilometers away from the sun, where we are seeing nothing but darkness and space, but the beauty of this blue planet is worth seeing from here. So, in today's episode, let's go on a tour of this blue world and know about the mind-blowing secrets hidden inside it. So, are you ready? You can inform us about this by liking this video. Friends, Neptune is the 8th planet in our solar system, and it is located at a distance of approximately 30 astronomical units from the sun. If you compare the distance of Earth from the sun with the distance of Neptune from the sun, you will find out that this distance is 30 times more than the distance of our Earth from the sun, and this is the reason why it takes only 8 minutes for the sun's rays to reach Earth. These same rays take 248.74 minutes to reach Neptune, which is equal to approximately 4 hours. And not only this planet is 4 times bigger in size than our Earth. For example, if you consider a big apple as Earth, Neptune will be the size of a football in its respect. Yes, from this you can guess how big Neptune is from Earth. Well, this was about the distance between Earth and Neptune. Now, let's unveil the secrets of Neptune. Discovery of Neptune. The discovery of Neptune was done through mathematical prediction instead of direct observation. In fact, in the early 19th century, astronomers noticed that there was some disturbance in the orbit of Uranus, due to which its gravitational pull was being affected. And in such a situation, they felt that there might be some other celestial body present near Uranus. After which, on the basis of these things, French mathematician Urbain Le Verrier and English mathematician John Couch Adams predicted the existence of an 8th planet besides Uranus in the solar system, but this was just a prediction. The real truth was yet to come out. On September 23rd, 1846, astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle officially discovered this planet, after which it was named Neptune after the Greek god of fresh water. Now, since Johann Gottfried Galle actually discovered this planet, most of the credit for its discovery is given to him. Neptune's stormy atmosphere in the year 1989, when the Voyager 2 spacecraft passed by Neptune, it revealed some information about the great dark spot present on it. It had informed that this dark spot is a very big cyclone present on Neptune, which shows the fierce storm rising there. As for its atmosphere, it is mostly filled with hydrogen, helium, and methane gas, as was the case with the planet Uranus. And due to the presence of methane gas, it absorbs all the red light coming on it and reflects the blue light back into space. And this is the reason why it appears dark blue to us. Along with this, it is also quite large in size, and being approximately 4.5 billion kilometers away from the sun, sunlight does not reach it properly. That is why there is always ice frozen here. Neptune's rings, just like Saturn and Uranus, Neptune is also a planet with rings. Yes, the thing is that its rings are not visible to our naked eyes, but in reality, there are 6 rings around it which are made of dust, particles, stones, and ice particles. However, scientists have not been able to find out much about its origin yet. But they believe that just like other planets, these rings may have been formed due to the breaking of its moons. Or it is also possible that they were formed from its own remains. As for its moons, it has a total of 14 moons, in which every moon is named after some god of Greek mythology. Friends, being the last planet in the solar system, it takes 165 years for Neptune to complete one revolution of the sun. And this is the reason that after its discovery in 1846, it has so far completed only one revolution of the sun. That is, Earth has completed its 165 years so far. At the same time, only 1 year has passed on Neptune. Now you can guess from this fact how strange this planet is. However, preparations for many missions are being made for its study in the present. But this exploration will be sent to Neptune only for the purpose of a complete study, because the existence of any life in a temperature of minus 200 degrees Celsius will probably be possible. By the way, what do you think? Can any microbial life exist on Neptune? Will any living being be living on it? Do let us know by writing in the comments section below. See you in the next video. Until then, keep watching the Sleepy Einstein channel.